all settling so nicely that I feel like just saying, keep up the good work. Good morning to everyone. My name is Bill Spangle. I'm joined with Zopa and Dora this morning. Welcome to all. Welcome especially to those who are either brand new here or recently new. And to offer some kind of idea what to expect. We'll be doing about 50 minutes of meditation with some instruction and a few intentional breaks along the way, like that, where we can reset and change positions. Particularly if you're new, I think it's good to remember the story of Goldilocks, because whatever cushion we try out at first, or whatever posture we try out at first, is likely to be the too hot or too cold, or too hard, too tall. So feel free to make adjustments as you need. The point in meditation is not merely to become tough as nails. So it's nice to have the support of good posture, some sense of ease in sitting, so whatever it takes to dial that in is it's part of the process. Last week we talked a little bit about our ordinary pursuits, chasing after pleasure, doing our best to avoid discomfort, and all the rest of what are called the 8 worldly dharmas. So we have pleasure and pain, or pleasure and discomfort, loss and gain, praise and blame. You could say honor and shame. These preoccupations. Veering away from one thing or another, trying to veer towards another, and missing perhaps the potential that's right there, immediately right within us. You could say right in front of us, right within us. Another element that we talked about was talked about karma, which is such a big, loaded topic. But one of the principles there is whatever it is that we cultivate, we essentially get better and better at it. And if we wish to be not lost, or just wish to be free from the compulsion to search out other things, more pleasure, less pain, less discomfort, better reputation. If we wish to be free from the compulsion to seek out those things so that we might actually discover what is right there within us, the potential for profound well-being. We have to cultivate something other than the chase. And calm abiding meditation offers us a good way to cultivate something other than the mind that chases after or runs away. In a way, there's nothing to cultivate. It's more a matter of release and allowing the mind to settle. Releasing the patterns of the mind that chase after things. To do this, we need some kind of sense of direction, some sense of inspiration, some encouragement that this is actually possible. You could say this is a key aspect of why we always remind ourselves of refuge, deep refuge, when we begin our practice. We also remind ourselves that the central element in this chasing and running is this fixation on ourselves as a disconnected being. So we also remind ourselves of our profound connections to all beings and all phenomena when we begin. And just as in the heart of our constant preoccupations with chasing after and running away, in the midst of that, there is this wish for profound well-being. And in the same way that we experience this, it's clear that all beings experience this. And so we open our hearts in this way and remind ourselves of deep sources of refuge. The example of the Buddha, the methods of practice that bring us closer and closer and ultimately allow us to attain the same liberation that the Buddha experienced. The support of our colleagues on the path and their example and encouragement. And so we go for refuge and develop bodhicitta, or this profound wish for the liberation of all beings.
Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness.
The cultivation of calm abiding is simple. It's possible even to say that it is the cultivation of simplicity itself. To become very, very simple. It's good to let go of whatever expectations we might have for what meditation should be like, what experiences should arise. Let go of ideas about what experiences shouldn't arise. And instead, just rely on the method itself. The simplicity of allowing the attention to just settle in to an aspect of experience. For those who know or inspired by any of the various possibilities and how to cultivate calm abiding, please cultivate those according to your inspiration. For those who are unfamiliar, simply looking in the midst of all your experience, find the experience, the sensation of the breath flowing. Flowing in, flowing out. Most often, we very quickly discover that the habit of mind includes chasing after other experiences, chasing after ideas and thoughts and memory. As we allow the attention to settle on the experience of the breath coming and going, there's no need to fight with the appearance of other things that arise in our experience. Simply attend primarily to the experience of the breath. And whenever we discover that our attention has been entirely captured, in the moment of discovering it, we simply rediscover the experience of the breath. Placing our attention vividly this experience, just relax directly into it. go as you need to. Relax whatever tension you may find.
this virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state.
And so, thank you. I'm always glad that other people offer me the impetus and excuse to come and sit. It's very nice. Thank you. Thank you. We'll have a little break, and there's possibilities of getting tea and other things downstairs, and getting to catch up a bit, getting to know people, introducing yourselves, and along that line, if you're new here or newish, please feel free to come up and introduce yourself to us teachers. We're quite happy to meet new people. And along those lines, I think, Salidra, do you have some people to introduce?
Can you feel my excitement? We can see it.
Yes, it's palpable and visible.
Yes, we have Maylene here today for the first time. Where are
Over
you?
here.
Oh, yes. And Isha, who has been here before, brought his lovely wife today, Lena. And we want to welcome you all. So that's one thing, and I wanted to say one more thing as an announcement, is that as everybody knows, a couple of months ago we started a membership drive, and we had 35 people that we needed to sign up as new sustaining members in order to attain 108. And we have surpassed our goal. We have 109, and every bit helps. And I think it really speaks to the dedication, responsiveness, and commitment of our Sangha. So I feel really happy about that. And in the back, on your break, there are 2 malas, one for a man and one for a woman. So as we said in the beginning, the people who became sustaining members, we're going to do a random choosing, and there will be one man that receives the men's mala and one woman who receives the women's mala. So you can take a look at the malas back there and enjoy.
And perhaps you can decide if, based on the mala, whether you're a man or a woman.
One is a very large, and one is petite.
All right. Well, there we go.
You can be anything in between.
Yes. So a couple other reminders. I think there is how many spaces left on the Karma Abiding Retreat? 1 or 2 spaces left on the Karma Abiding Retreat with Lama Eric in September. And for the Chenrezig Retreat, I suppose there's room there. So if you have interest in doing retreat, you can talk to us about those things. I'll mention also that it's for people who have been going through the Mahamudra program started by Bokar Rinpoche and have gone on to succeeding years. Lama Eric is also providing support for those of us who are doing that, and is also leading another week of retreat for people who've been in that program for over 6 years or more, and gone on to the Yidam practice. So let's see, what else? What else? We have other things coming up.
First, I just have to say, in the valuing inclusivity, that we have some transgendered folks here. So in terms of the malas, you can sort that out. But I just want to acknowledge that humans aren't just those two categories, thank goodness. Always updating our inner awareness of the wider world. So October, it kind of fits with that. In October, I'm going to be leading 3 Saturday mornings looking at equanimity and diversity. So we'll be looking at the isms, which are always fun and challenging, but racism, sexism, classism, just go on down the line, homophobia. Mostly through the prism of equanimity, both within our own minds and bringing that into the world. So it seems timely. And that'll be 2 Saturday mornings in October and 1 Saturday morning in November. And then in November, Long Range Planning, Lama Michael and Tim Campbell are going to be leading a mind training retreat out at the land for a week, I think, week long. Yeah. So that'll be showing up soon for registering both of those things. I can't think of anything else. Dora?
Well, I think it's good to plan ahead also for what we used to call our winter retreat, which is basically a period of time out at SCOL where we have group support, but we do individual practice, and so people can come there for different lengths of time during, I think we're either a 1 or 2 month period that we'll be doing it, and everyone keeps the same schedule, and we get meals and that kind of support, but we keep silence and we do our own practice in our own rooms. And so this is a really wonderful step of learning to do retreat on our own and getting the benefit of practicing what we want to be working on. And so I really encourage people to consider that. And since that takes, it's nice to do that for a long period as you can. So I like to mention that. This is probably going to start February 15th.
And Linda.
I'm going to go way out on a limb here. You may have seen in the community list or newly posted on the website that KCC is having an event on October 27th, Blooming Lotus, our first annual Vajrayati show. And a number of people have already signed up. We have some fabulous acts. So you can go to the website and see the original invitation. But yesterday, Salidra and I did another phase to let you know of who the fabulous acts already are, in hopes that it will inspire you. So I'm going to try to deliver it. Wish me luck. Dear Dharma family, we're letting you know about KCC's Vajrayati show. Everybody's coming but the Easter Bunny to honor Lama Michael and raise some money. Janis Joplin will sing for you, and the Pointer Sisters will be there too. We're hoping for a tango from Louisa and Art, and Mary and the children will open your heart. Rumi's coming to recite a poem, and Dharma Road will lead us home. We've chosen these tidbits as titillation designed to entice your participation. So email Salidra at mac.com. If you're not in it, this show might bomb. You don't have to be a talented one. Just take the leap and join the fun. If you know Bryce Casson, he's coming from Germany. Thank you to the generous air mileage donation from Sandy Pollock. He will MC and do some clowning and act himself, and Bryce alone is worth the participation. So, but be thinking, we really want everybody to have a great time in our first annual Vajrayati show, October 27th. We're right there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to hear Bryce is coming. Yes.
So those were all long-range plans. There is something for this Tuesday, which is the Death and Dying Study Group, and we are working with Kempa Rinpoche's teachings on the Bardo. So this Tuesday here, 3 to 4:30.
Excellent. All right. Let's have some tea and come back in a few moments and see what other inspiration strikes.